Hello, Jean-Paul. I'm very pleased
Hello.
to have you in this interview. I'm Romaric Rollet. Well, the topic of today is human and technology, love or hate. It could be some kind of a very difficult topic to address, but I think you have many things to talk about it. But maybe first of all, even though you are very well known in the Credit Agricole Group, you are maybe not as known for our audience. So maybe just can you introduce yourself at the very beginning?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for your invitation. And I do love this title, Love or Hate for Human and Technology. Quite interesting topic. So my name is Jean-Paul Mazoyer, and I recently been appointed as Deputy General Manager of Credit Agricole Group. I'm in charge of innovation, digital transformation, and IT for the whole group. That's to say, all Crédit Agricole SA group and also the Caisse Régionale, regional banks of the group. I've been with the group for 24 years now, beginning my career with Accenture, and then working for many, many entities within the Crédit Agricole Group, the CIB, the asset management entity, Amundi, and also the central part of the group. I was the CIO a few years ago, and then I was the CEO of one of the regional banks of the group in a lovely place southwest of France.
I think it was Pyrénées-Gascogne, if I remember well.
It was, yeah.
So maybe just to introduce myself, I'm Romaric Rollet. I'm in charge of innovation and digital transformation for the Crédit Agricole CIB entity of the group. So one of the entities that you have mentioned. Maybe the Credit Agricole Group is one of the largest European banks, but maybe it's not as known in Asia as it may be in Europe. So maybe you can introduce as well a little bit the Credit Agricole Group, if you will.
Yeah, sure. Even if the Crédit Agricole Group is now the parent company of the former Indosuez and Crédit Lyonnais banks, were very well known in Asia in the last century. Crédit Agricole Group is 150,000 people, employees all over the world in more or less 50 countries. One of the, I guess it's the 10th most important bank in the world, and we've got a very, very large and important and powerful presence in France. We've got some regions with more than 40 or 50% of market shares. So it's quite big. We are clearly the biggest bank in France, not the biggest French bank. It's BNPP, but Crédit Agricole Group is clearly a very important institution in French economy. It's composed, as you may know, with more or less 40 regional banks, and all the parts, the central part with international side, with the métiers, business lines, asset management, the retail group with LCL, the former Crédit Lyonnais insurance companies, and the CIB, obviously. That's the current organization. We've got the Crédit Agricole SA part, the central part is listed on the Paris market, and that's well, once again a quite important group for the bank in France and in Europe.
So yes, I do understand that we have a strong history in Asia as well. It may not be obvious at first, but it is the case as well. Okay,
It
thank you
is.
very much, Jean-Paul. Maybe the first question on our topic: what does digital transformation mean? It's a very large question, but what does it mean to you for the banking industry?
In general, first, the digital transformation must be considered as finally with four domains. The first domain is clearly client centricity, or to reinvent or business model or client relationship. That's the first one. And we used to think that only it's the only part of digital transformation. It's not the only part. It's the first one. The second one is about the efficiency of the entity of the company, and the digital transformation must increase this efficiency by the use of technologies. The third part is about HR, employees, management, outlets, how the finally how the company is organized and how can be improved, or can you assist the employees to be more efficient with technologies. And the fourth domain is clearly IT, based on data and AI, and how to assist the other domains to move again. For the banking industry, it's exactly the same. For the banking industry, you've got to do all this stuff at the same time to increase or to improve your business model, to be more to have more proximity and empathy with clients, thanks to technology. And finally, digital transformation is the how you can catch the opportunities given by technology to improve the whole functioning, the whole company. And it's a long trip for entities.
So what I understand is at the first overview of digital transformation might be around technologies, but what you say basically is that, if I understand it well, is that technology is a mean to more appropriately serve our clients, to be more efficient, to improve the way our employees act during their daily life in the company, and IT is as well a mean for that, if I understand it well.
Is a mean, and you must consider it as a not as a constraint, but as an opportunity to imagine another way to interact with clients, or to or another way to function, to be more efficient. And for the banking industry, as many people were predicting many years ago, the death of banks, and obviously this has not happened. And as we are in this sanitary crisis, the importance of banks, traditional banks, banks with balance sheets, finally is we see that these traditional banks are finally quite useful. So it is important for us to imagine the way that we will function, that we will interact with clients in the coming years, in the near future. And obviously, this will be a combination between human and technology.
Yes, and you have said it. It's about also human resources, and by that I understand employees, skills, and everything. So, what really is a human? Where is it in all this? Where you put human in all this?
The gambit, as we say in chess, is that technology will replace the value, the low value tasks, and that the human resource will be focused on client interaction and to serve the better way possible, to serve clients and a better client relationship. So the question is finally not how the technology or the digital will improve the human, as many think that finally the human will be reinforced by digital. I do think that the most complex way is finally the reverse side. That's to say, the digital must be reinforced by human. And that's to say that we must be best in class in terms of digital transformation, of digital processes, on the way to digitally interact with clients. But also we must add to that, we must add a human responsibility and the human interaction with clients. And this combination between human and technology is quite difficult to achieve, obviously. But it's our challenge, as we are recognized by people, by clients, as a very human bank. That's to say that the people working for us are very many empathy with clients, are in proximity with clients. We must add to that. We must add the digital processes, and then once again, to be more efficient, we must improve these digital processes by the human responsibility.
So I'm happy to hear that we will not replace human by digital and robots. So it's good to understand. And if I understand you well, you are really talking about augmented humanity or something like that, really empowering humans with technologies so that they are more efficient and closer to our clients, if I understand you well.
And empowering the digital by human responsibility also.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, you have an overview of the Credit Agricole Group in terms of technology, digital transformation. So maybe can you give us your best achievements? What has been achieved yet at the Credit Agricole Group level, and maybe uh, furthermore some remaining challenges that have to be accomplished.
We can say that at the end of this year, 2020, Credit Agricole Group is finally, and it's not cynical on my side, but Credit Agricole Group is reinforced by this sanitary crisis, because we proved during this period of time our proximity and our strong relationship with clients, based on the presence of our employees everywhere in French regions, and everywhere we have activities. And finally, we are at the right place, the closest to concerns, to issues, to take care of clients anywhere they are. So it's quite important to see that during this period of time, Crédit Agricole has been reinforced by, and thanks to his huge and powerful presence in the territories. What we must add to that is clearly the development of the digital use and the digital processes. And in this domain, Crédit Agricole is not, I must say that clearly, Crédit Agricole is not best in class. And we've got many domains to improve on our processes, on our apps. We've got many things to build on our IT systems. Our systems are not designed, or IT systems at this stage, not designed to be agile, or to be at the edge to assist the digital transformation of our entities. Or IT systems were designed on mainframes, on batch, and we must invest in data layers. We must invest in AI tools to be more agile, yeah, and at the same time more secure, more resilient. And we've got many things to do, to invest, to improve the capacity of our systems to support this digital transformation. So many things to do at the same time, to have this in mind, how we can complete this digital transformation, and also at the same time how we must transform the IT systems of the whole group. So it's as you may know, the IT annual spending of the group is more or less 4 billion euros. We must improve the value that we can have in facing this IT spending, and many things to do. But people working, more or less, we've got something like 8,000 IT guys in the group, and at the same time we've got more or less 10,000 people coming from our subcontractors, and this workforce is very competent and motivated, and we must rely on them, and we have all the capacities, the competencies to have this journey of digital transformation and IT transformation.
Yeah, I totally understand you. I do agree with you in terms of skills, competencies of all the employees. I think we have many things that can be done thanks to the competencies and the skills that we see. Even though the path is not totally clear and we have things to do, I think we have all that is needed to move forward. And maybe at what point in the future we will reveal ourselves as maybe a tech company as well. That could be a good way to go. I don't know it's your ambition, but that could be a good way to go.
Clearly, you're right. We must be seen as a tech company, and as we are a bank, we are the tech company. We are the tech company. We are a tech company. We are also a platform company, and that's quite important for us to have that in mind and to be sure of our strengths to address these issues and this even if it's quite big for us. As I mentioned, the key figures for the IT of the group. We clearly have many strengths, and we can rely on that to achieve this journey. And as I used to say, the journey of the digital transformation is more important than the target, because as you are on a regular path, there are many opportunities with new technologies to improve and improve again for the group.
Okay, thank you. Maybe in terms of partnerships, how do you see partnerships with maybe fintech startups? How do you see that for this journey? As well, would it be something mandatory? Would it be what would be the value added of partnerships? How the Village by Serre, which is probably a very good thing, part of the group, how does it work in this partnership environment?
That's a very good question. Partnerships are mandatory for us. It's quite impossible for us to do all we need to do by ourselves, alone, and we must rely on partners. There are finally two types of partners. The huge IT or tech companies that are our partners or suppliers, and we must see Microsoft, IBM, the hyperscalers of cloud like AWS, Google, and so on and so forth. We must see them as partners, and we must align interests with them. That's a key. One of my key priorities is once again to align interest with these partners, because we are obviously we won't change the IBM technology in the coming years. We won't change the Microsoft technology, and we must rely on them. But as we said, we must once again align interests. The other type of partners is the newcomers, startups. And we must also rely and learn from fintechs. We must see, my favorite expression is to see the world through their glasses. And to work with these newcomers, these startups, is the best way also to see the future and to see how they imagine the future. And it's quite important, quite interesting, quite fascinating for us to see the world in another way. And for that, we've got an ecosystem, as you mentioned, the villages by Crédit Agricole. There are something like 30 or 45 villages all over France. Well, the biggest one is in Paris, obviously, and we are just working on that to make this village as the innovation center of the group, and the best way to learn, to know about the digital transformation, and to collaborate, to have a relationship, the closest we can with startups, with people working on innovation, and with the internal teams working on innovation. So it's quite important to have this vision of open architecture, of open innovation with others, And that's why I'm saying it's a very important key. It's a key point, very important question for us to have this external assistance or to rely on partners.
Maybe to rebound on your words, two things. If I remember well, the village are by CA. We are also hosted by CSAB in different countries in the world, if I remember well.
You're
And
right. You're right. I
second
didn't
of
mention
it,
that.
yes, and maybe you know this initiative, Jean-Paul. I'm not sure, but you may have heard about the Startup Mission initiative, which is basically some employees of the Credit Agricole trying to help startups from the village and see life through their looking glass, just as you have mentioned. And I think it's a very good initiative. Maybe to have a conclusion on everything, maybe you can have a few words on one of the favorite Credit Agricole motto, the 100% digital, 100% human, and maybe one or two words around the risk of digital exclusion of people in this digital world that you have described.
Yeah, the motto of Crédit Agricole is clearly to have a 100% digital and 100% human. We are currently 100% human, as I mentioned many times. The question is to have this combination, this balance between human and digital, and to assist once again the development of digital or the efficiency of human. We've got many things to do, many projects to launch, many investments to make, and that's clearly a fascinating challenge for IT guys, for people, and as I mentioned, I'm very excited to drive this transformation and to be at this edge of the transformation of the group. Quite interesting period of time, especially with this new way to imagine the collaboration with a remote working for employees, with many the monetary use of digital tools. So it's quite interesting.
Well, thank you, Jean-Paul, for this interview. It was really interesting to have your words in terms of ambitions and strategy. And I'm pretty sure that our audience will be very interested by it as well. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much. Thank you very much, Romaric. It was a pleasure.